believe, yeah, it should be West Adelaide ball.
Well done by the officials getting together there and coming up with the right decision, staying cool under pressure thanks to Sealy International.
Let's just have a look at that shooting percentage. The defense for West Adelaide's been so good. South Adelaide only shooting 20% from the field.
So Daniel Smith gets into the game early for Ellison. Guarding Mayan here. Young player. This will give him a bit of a test. Stock gets to the elbow, gets his own work back, misses again. Mayan with the tip. Brandon goes up. He rips it down and secures the ball for the Panthers. Tough work in there by Christian Brandon. Bab sizing up. Stock here, but it's deflected by Lat Mayan.
Brandon was so good on the boards for South Adelaide last week as well. He's such an athletic player. He just really can just out-jump those other bigs and grab that ball and pull it in. He had 9 boards for them last week.
Qbank rises up over the top of Spear. It's rebounded by Smith over the bigger opponent, and Qbank turns it over. Bit of a miscommunication there between him and Bab. Couple of early substitutions. Dow coming in for Stouty. And Jonty Smith. This is going to be a nightmare for us. Both Smiths in the game early.
Jeez.
I'll tell you what is he doing to us over there, Paul Bell?
Smith and Smith.
Let's see how we go. Paul Bell, of course, taking over the reins from Graham Qbank, who still stays on the bench for the Panthers this year. Nyberg still at the helm with West Adelaide. Mayan.
Great defense again from Tom Qbank. Really takes that space away. It's Curtis Scott, coast to coast, if you don't mind.
Good push there by Scott. Coach Qbank screaming at him to push the pace. He obliges. 2 points for Curtis Scott. Big role for him this year. That's a tough pass to catch. Don't even think Jacob Tryon would have caught that one. Mayan. And
look at the pressure they put on Mayan. Every time he catches it, they saw obviously at the stellar performance last weekend. Absolutely huge game. 28 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. But they're taking around all that space similar to what's happening right there with Tommy Qbank.
So Tryon travelled. He travelled as he tried to get around Mayan.
Chris and Brandon there, yeah. That's now the 4th turnover for South Adelaide. And we're only 6 minutes into the game.
Pretty tough out there. A lot of action off the ball, a lot of bodying up. D. Smith's got a tough matchup with Tryon. Very impressive player. Dow goes at Jay Smith and he puts it in over the top of the youngster. So Curtis Scott, pick and roll action between him and Dan Smith. Gets in on Stock and he's going to be called for a travel, is Curtis Scott. And we'll get an Amy timeout to Paul Bell early in this one, Coley.
Geez, that's now the 5th turnover there. And
2?
Yes, I think he's actually landing in tomorrow. They couldn't quite get him out here in time.
Not sure what Coach Nyberg was going on about there, talking about someone's pants. Not sure players are supposed to be wearing pants, Coach. But anyway, just shorts is what I meant, Coley. Yeah,
I think what you meant there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mayan going hard here at Qbank, goes to the right-handed jump hook. Thought he was fouled too, flails the arms about. A 5-13 lead for the Bearcats.
A lot of contact there and strong finish from Lat Mayan. He likes that matchup he's got. Tom Qbank has been able to answer so far as we see Brandon over the top there. Easy 2 points.
Nice finish there by Brandon. In traffic, assist to Dan Smith there. Here's Mayan again. Goes to work through the middle over the top of Qbank again. Hand on it by Tryon. It's picked up by Dow. Looks inside to Tryon. D. Smith.
6 to shoot.
Tough matchup there. And Tryon left it off the mark. They're going to work down there. Brandon comes in. Tryon goes again. Puts a hook in there on Smith and he gets fouled and he's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Undersized down there, D. Smith, but he's certainly putting in some effort as Stouty looks to check back in. A little bit late to the bench. He's going to get in though. And he'll come in.
And that's the 8th offensive rebound to West Adelaide. 8-2 it is at the moment, Berth.
And, of course, quite a few tips there as well, Cooley.
Oh, yes.
Just that length of Mayen and Tryon just getting hands up at the rim as he misses the first try. And, of course, coming over from Dandenong this year, had 14-10 and 5 blocks.
Ooh.
Jacob Tryon, his first game for West Adelaide. Coach Nyberg labels him as a stretch 5, but a fantastic defender. Actually won a Defensive Player of the Year in Norway, Cooley.
Oh,
so he certainly can defend the basketball, 3 blocks a game that season. Stouty, Crafty kicks it out to Stock for 3. Brandon with a big rebound.
That's already his 3rd rebound of the match.
So Scott. Eubank rises up over the top. Oh, Dan Smith came over the top of Tryon. He's playing undersized there tonight, obviously having to cover the loss of Hoppo. And
what a finish.
He just rose. Some serious athleticism there.
A lot of traffic there too.
Yeah.
Didn't phase him as Dow loses it.
So Matt Tassel coming in for Tryon. Been out since 2022 is his last season for the Southern Tigers, Tassel.
It looks like Cody Ellison in for Tom Eubank, giving him a quick breather. You'd imagine he'd probably be out there pretty soon.
Been playing a bit of footy over in Victoria, playing a little bit for Mitchell Park, Goldie, as well, which is the home team here. So here's Jonty. Brandon for 3. Off the mark. Well boxed out there by Stouty.
And like I said earlier, it did take Brandon about nearly a half a basketball before he really started lighting it up down there at Morphettvale last week. So once he sees that ball go in, you expect that defense to tighten right up there from West Adelaide. And here he comes, speak of the man.
Bit of showtime coming up here, or he sort of broke the trampoline as he was jumping up there, as he just wipes the shoes to say perhaps there's a bit of claret there, but I think he might have just missed time.
I think he missed time. Gosh, he made a real mess of that one. But hey, 2 points is 2 points, Berth.
That's absolutely right. Tassel using the body down low. Mayen goes over the top of Brandon, and they all rise up. Oh, my goodness. Some serious athleticism there as about 5 players rose up. D. Smith, Brandon, Mayen, all a part of that. So here's a bit of pick and roll action. And I think it was Tassel who might have just got a hand in there as Chris Brandon tried to slither through. 12 seconds left on the shot clock, 19 left in the quarter. So a 7-second differential.
Very low-scoring game, and you expect that with South Adelaide playing very good defensive side. And when you take out Keanu Rasmussen, it's going to happen the other way as well.
So Scott lines up a 3. Stock's out the back here. Blocked by Brandon. We saw that last week. Scott comes the other way.
4 to shoot.
He's got 4 to shoot. And he finds D. Smith on the alley-oop. And that'll get him back within a point. Like there, didn't he, Mayen? Got Brandon committing forward a little bit. Got into the body. Probably didn't need a foul there either, Brandon. Mayen stuck behind the backboard. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
He was 6 of 7 last week against Woodville. He continues with that good form now. 2 of 3 from the line, West Adelaide tonight.
Of course, coming off a very impressive season with the 36ers, where he was sort of given that wing defensive role, wasn't he, in the second half in a late playoff push for the 36ers. No doubt looking to hone his craft on the offensive end as well this season in NBL1 Central. Stouty with the quick hands knocks it out of Jonty Smiths.
Jeez, and Tom Eubank still on the bench for South Adelaide. I would have been expecting him to come out all guns blazing at the start of this quarter, but they've got a game plan there, South Adelaide, sticking with it.
So Brandon, step back over the top of Mayen.
Jeez.
Looking forward to keeping an eye on that matchup tonight, those two boys going head to head. Ellison shows hard on the dribble handoff action there. Stouty, I beg your pardon, it was Spear slithered in Jay Smith was waiting on the split line. Brandon, kick out. Scott's got all sorts of time. Sometimes these are hard to hit, and it certainly was on that occasion. D. Smith with the board. Brandon. Now he can shoot the pill, Mayan giving him a little bit of space. Brandon can't get it to go, and I think it was Tassel knocked down his teammate in Dow there.
And South Adelaide always back on defence there. They're really stopping any sort of fast break momentum that West Adelaide had. They scored so many points out in the fast break last week, and South Adelaide this week are saying it's not going to happen to us.
Tassel, hand off to Dow. Dow's going to have to get busy here. That's tough. Good defence by D. Smith out in the perimeter there. He's having himself a quarter and a bit, isn't he, D. Smith?
Oh, yes. He gets limited minutes, but when his opportunity, when his name and number are called, he's taking that advantage.
1 point lead to the Bearcats. 15-16 early going here. Tryon just walks past us. Oh, my goodness. What an imposing man.
Couldn't see anything.
He is.
Like an eclipse.
I reckon he's got to be at 12 inches on us sitting on the bench here.
So the height advantage immediately switches sides.
So Tassel comes out. A few early minutes. So Christian Brandon, that foul line again, goes hard at the body, and he couldn't get it to go. Ellison with the rebound. Scott once again finds himself with all sorts of time. Not sure what happened there, but he's going to finish it.
Oh, jeez.
He fumbled it. It bobbled out of his
early
hand.
days. We've just got to get things going offensively for him.
He's got some pesky length, the Smiths. Eubank was fouled by Spear. Just got some pesky length, haven't they, about him? John Tiandan playing a little bit undersized, but still able to deflect a lot. Ellison will come out for Bab. D. Smith in for J. Smith.
Well, the Smith brothers have been a part of this South Adelaide lineup for years. You might not have seen much. They might not have seen much court time. You might not have ever seen them play, but they've been a part of that training squad, part of that roster for years, always working hard in the background, and now their number's called, and they're showing it right now.
Look, I'm saying Smith a lot, but
Smith and Smith.
It's just what you got to do.
Maybe another Smith later on. You never know.
The teaser there by the man. So here is Mayan.
All the offense is going through Lat Mayan right now for West Adelaide.
Christian Brand is doing a pretty good job defensively. Help shown there, but a little bit late by Warren getting across. Stock looking to put some pressure up on Warren. Good matchup here, Spear and Eubank being battling hard. Bab on the curl. Oh, Brandon goes to the floater. D. Smith again. He's fouled. No, he wasn't. Jump ball, coach. Eubank down on the baseline there, doing the two-step.
Jeez, thought he was about to
really
run out
upset.
there and help. Jeez, it's interesting to see this. We saw this a lot last week at Moorvale as well. Coach Eubank definitely doesn't like to sit down when he's the assistant coach.
Stouty gets the offense started here. Stock kicks it back out to Stouty from the corner. Leaves it a little bit short, and it's controlled by Bab. Eubank.
Good drive, unable to capitalise. Kicks it out to Bab.
So Bab for three.
Jeez.
Eubank did well there to follow up on the play. Almost fumbled it into a turnover. Kicked it out to Bab. Tryon for a big triple. He's off the mark, and Warren.
Bab pretty quiet last week, offensively that is. Did a lot of things defensively as Chris and Brandon loses control once more, and here is Bab.
Eubank over the top, a spear, and that did everything but go in, that one. Tom Eubank trying to find some rhythm here. Up to 6 points on the night, just at 29%. Nice pass, extra pass to Mayan for three.
You can't give him too many opportunities. They'll start falling for him. That is his first three, but he's up to 14 points already.
Nice defense there by Stock in the full court. Well managed by Warren. Brandon. Tough work in there going at Mayan. And here comes Mayan the other way now.
Oh, very late whistle there. The ball basically had already been rebounded coming the other way, but...
And you could see the West Adelaide Bearcats bench calling for that call. And I reckon they can get in the head of the officials sometimes.
I know. these officials are cool under pressure thanks to Sealy, the Climate Wizards.
So Stouty comes out, just explaining to the bench that he likes the pace that they're playing at the moment. And I feel that he's right. I think they've just sort of got the game back on their terms a touch as Mayan leaves the first free throw short.
Yeah, they are behind, but you do feel that they're still in control. Their offense has been very half-court. They're just looking to try and get out, maybe try and run a little bit more, West Adelaide, but while they're in the half-court, there's only one man that's looking to score, and that's Lat Mayan.
There goes 0 from 2 there, Mayan. Scott gets fouled, couldn't quite get the N1 opportunity to fall. It just dribbled out at the last moment, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. First personal for Mayan. Free throw percentage for both teams not looking super impressive.
No, 2 of 6 from the line for South Adelaide, 33%. 57% for the West Adelaide Bearcats, 4 of 7. Early days, though.
So Scott makes the first. Just extends that lead back out to 4. Very, very low-scoring game. He goes 1 of 2. 3 from 8 from the free throw line for the Panthers and 4 from 7 for the Bearcats. Both teams a little bit under strength. Nice contest there by D. Smith.
A little contact at the
end.
I would have
bit of contact called E.
I think South Adelaide are very lucky a foul wasn't called. Great jump shot from Lat Mayan. He's an absolute superstar of this league.
Got himself up to 16, Mayan now. Leads all scorers in the game. Qbank was fouled by Tryon. Tryon not happy with that one at all.
I think he's
got a case.
Justified there. I thought he got a hand to it. That's his second personal. There's a minute 50 remaining. I think Dean Nyberg did have a little glance down the bench, maybe getting him out, but not just yet, he says.
So Qbank makes the first.
Turnover counts quite high in the first term, but looking a lot nicer now. Still only 7 to 8.
Goes 2 from 2. A little bit of relief on that free throw percentage there for the Panthers as Qbank makes both. He's got the matchup now with Mayan. He's got 2 personal fouls, Qbank, so he's going to have to be careful with just under 2 minutes. Not sure I'd be going with that matchup. Tryon goes at Smith. Backdoor cut by Dow. Nice hands by Scott, and it will stay with the Bearcats with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
5 on there, and they're going to have a chat about it. That's a smart timeout from Dean Nyberg and West Adelaide. There's a minute 30. You had 1 left in your
5. So an opportunity here for the Bearcats with 2 starters out of the lineup. Let's see what they can get. Tryon off the mark.
Quick.
Ellison couldn't quite control the rebound, and they'll get another opportunity here. The Bearcats through Stock. Kick out. Spear loves them from there. Off the mark again, Stock.
Jeez. You mentioned the offensive rebound count during the Amy timeout there, and all of a sudden it's skyrocketed a little bit. This time collected by Ellison.
So 1 minute left. Just over a minute in the second quarter, first half action here.
You feel like South Adelaide really escaped there, giving this West Adelaide side 3 attempts to score. Relatively open looks as well. 5 seconds now, though.
So Scott heaves one up, and it's going to be out off of the hands of Mayan. Gee, they got lucky there, the Panthers. As they had nothing going on offense, Scott had to heave it, caught a bit of rim, and Mayan couldn't control the rebound.
They're not going to have long to set up a offense this time, and you just feel the ball's a little stagnant for South Adelaide at the moment. It's Scott, how does he do it?
Nice spin move there by Scott. He went under the arm of Tryon, who's found the going a little bit more difficult down there tonight. Hasn't quite been able to put as much pressure on the rim as he did against the Warriors last week. Panthers navigating that nicely.
Curtis Scott up to 7 points, that is. Oh, my.
Dow goes bang from downtown, and the Panthers will have the last shot of the half. 3-point lead. Ellison sets up for a big screen, and it'll be foul on Tryon again. If that's still on Tryon, that'll be his 3rd personal And it is on try on.
And we talked about that earlier, so whether or not you leave him out there. I probably would have left him out there, as did Coach Nyberg, but this is the risk. This is the risk you run, because Curtis Scott, even though he's a little guard, he's not slowing down. He's running right at try on each and every time.
It was good recognition, wasn't it, by Scott?
Well, that's his 8th turnover berth. 8 turnovers to Lat Mayen. He's so important for you offensively, but at the same time, 8 turnovers is unforgivable.
So here's Scott. Good matchup with Stock. Beats him off the dribble again. This time he goes up for the floating finger roll. I'm not sure if he was trying to maybe pass it to Brandon there. Stock for 3. Puts it in. Nice transition offense there by the Bearcats. Sean Stock.
Oh. He's up to 6 now, and it's a 1-point game. Advantage Panthers.
So Q-Bank wants it down low here on
7 to
Spear.
shoot.
Will he settle for the jumper or will he get busy? Goes to the fadeaway. Smith couldn't quite handle it. Mayen looking at probe. Gets inside. Kick out to Stouty. Stouty had a jumper. Turned it down. And they slow things up.
Missed opportunity you feel for West Adelaide. They had a few options. Credit to South getting back and stopping this. Stouty attacks and gets it a fall as well.
So Stouty will go to the free throw line. Now, Cole, you talk about attention to detail, right? Long close out there, boy, Jay Smith. Stouty, certainly not a player that's going to be looking to shoot that 3. And I think the last 3 times he's caught the ball on the perimeter, those long closeouts, he's been able to absorb that pressure and get to the basket. Do you think that's something Coach Paul Bell will be talking about?
Yeah, I think you just can't overcommit when you've got Hamish Stouty out on that 3-point line. He hasn't hit one tonight. Doesn't look like he is going to hit one. We see Brand. Oh, that doesn't look anywhere near going in as Q-Bank pulls up to clean it up.
So Tom Q-Bank, another lead change, puts the Panthers back in front by a solitary point. Seesawing affair, this one. You feel like it's on a knife's edge. Stouty once again goes to the jump hook this time. Try on over the top of Smith, and he puts it in. Hamish Stouty, dare I say, just winding back the clock a little bit here, Cooley. I don't know if that's a little bit disrespectful to the great man, but
although he does appear to have an issue with his shoulder at the moment, he's clutching at that one for a while, although he just reaches up and grabs that one, no problems.
So Jay Smith was off the mark from the corner. Here's Lat. Goes the hard at the body of Brandon, who had the 3 personal fouls and an Amy timeout to Paul Bell as the West Adelaide Bearcats just push this lead out to 3. And we've got Lat Mayen now up.
Team field goals, but this half alone, it's been a lot of one-on-one basketball, hoping the shots will fall, hoping you crash the O-boards. They're up to 9 offensive rebounds, but they can't rely on that for the rest of the game.
So Bab back into the game here. Brandon goes high over the top of Mayen. Tough shot for a post player to go the floater there. He's got some nice touch, Brandon. He's up to 17.
Very nice game for Christian Brandon so far. Defensively as well, he's had to contest with Lat Mayen, although this time it is Tom Q-Bank's turn. 6 to shoot.
Tough pass there for Dow to control, and I think it might have been D. Smith got a hand as Brandon pulls up for 3. That's real deep.
Very deep and early. Probably not the most ideal offensive selection.
Perhaps a bit of a heat check there. Not sure you'd be checking the heat at this time of the game. So Stock getting feet in the paint. Tryon's got all sorts of size down low on Curtis. Smith contested the shot of Scott, but he got it over the outstretched hand. Nothing but net for Sean Stock.
He's 3 or 4 from downtown, and although I feel like Smith didn't really give him too much room, it was still too much. Well done, Sean Stock, up to 9 points.
So Scott looking to try and answer on Stock. Down guarded by Bab, and here it is with Lat Mayen. Nice kick out to Dow for 3, off the mark. Nice box out by Bab. Scott pushing the pace here. Finds Q-Bank. Q-Bank goes underneath. Blocked by Tryon. No, it's a foul. That'll be his fourth.
Fourth personal on Tryon.
That'll be his fourth personal. I reckon Coach Nyberg would love to be playing NBL right now and have a challenge.
I think so as well. That was very, very close, and I think you can see the disappointment there as Tassel immediately springs up and comes in for him. Just interesting play there from South, going up and under for Q-Bank, drawing that contact across. Send him to the line.
Officials are right there. Tryon still not happy on the bench there as Q-Bank misses the first.
They're 7 of 15 from the line. They've got a warning there. I do believe both teams have received warnings now.
Spot on there, Coley. Of course, the Panthers receiving one earlier in the night. So Q-Bank goes 1 of 2, and it'll be Ellison checking back in here for Q-Bank.
He doesn't look like he's been looking like this all night. He doesn't look like he's comfortable out there. But I don't see him with any serious injury. I think it's more maybe just caught a knee, bit of a corky.
So Tassel at the top of the floor. Lat Mayan getting a lot of attention there from Ellison and Brandon.
4 to shoot for Mayan.
Good defense,
wow.
but better offense.
Jeez.
Good defense, better offense as Lat Mayan barks at the officials down the floor. He's got to be careful. They've already had a team warning.
What a shot, though, from Mayan. Just a little running, little hook there over the top. Easy as you like. He's up to 24, as he said, 24 with 8 rebounds. And that is just switching the pivot foot, sliding across a little bit too much there. And that appears to be the 4th or 5th warning we've seen this match.
I'm not sure who he was warning there.
It was Christian Brandon. I think it was
Might
one
have
of
been
those
Brandon,
blanket ones to everyone, but because Mayan was talking the other end, Christian Brandon was talking then. I think they're just getting a bit fed up.
Such a low-scoring game.
Oh, yes. Intense, too.
Tassel. Spear looking to get feet in the paint. Goes to the floater. Well short. No reset on the shot clock. Dow saves it. No, he didn't. He was out of bounds. Almost cleaned up the photographer down there, too, putting his body on the line for NBL1.
Trying to get the best shots in the biz, these photographers for NBL1. It's Curtis Scott being aggressive, pushing it up. I like that. Just under a minute left in this term.
So D. Smith, bit of pick and roll action. Brandon, feeding the paint out to Smith, and he puts in the nice short corner jump shot.
Oh, and a violation there. That'd be another turnover.
It's a coach killer, that one.
Mayan
just sort of stepped over the line, didn't he? Not sure what he was thinking there, but Stouty will come in for Stock. Well-earned breather for Sean Stock, been doing a lot of heavy work on the nose of the ball at the top of that defense. Bab goes hard to the rack and puts it in. Bab, nice way for him to get his account underway.
Well, I believe he hit a 3 earlier.
He did hit a 3 earlier, Caldy. Just remembered. Be a foul side ball.
Early foul there.
So they had a couple. They've still got a couple to give the Panthers.
Don't mind that foul early. I like the aggressiveness from Bat down the other end. 1 point ball game with 25 left in the third term. Couldn't ask for anything better, could you, Bev?
You certainly couldn't. So here's Mayan. Chris Brandon up. Now it's Ellison's turn to try and contain Mayan. Mayan.
Barking at the official.
Gets all the way down here, and he has to be careful.
Geez.
He's had about 3 warnings, Caldy.
4 to shoot.
And that'll be a foul. Oh.
Yes, very late call.
Very late whistle. It looked
before.
like a foul to me from here. Now, the official down the baseline didn't call it.
No.
It'll be the 3rd personal on Mayan.
Jeez.
Very interesting, wasn't it?
He got him up in the air early, did Smith, and then, Mayan just...
Player underneath. That'll be just his first personal.
Gonna have a breather here. Yeah, Ellison's had a few great moments out there defensively. Offensively, wasn't really giving him too much. But defensively, great picking up on the switches outside. And now see how we go with the Smith brothers out there.
Mayen. That's going to be a foul on Qbank. And Mayen will go to the line for 2 free throws. Just got the game on their terms at the moment, the Bearcats. Third personal for Tom Qbank. And just wonder where the answers are going to come from the Panthers. They've been brave all night, under strength, as are the Bearcats.
Both teams are missing players. And like I said, the next time these two teams match up, they'll have different looking lineups. And Lat Mayen, he's shooting 50% from the free throw line. He's now 3 of 6.
Shooting better from the field, from inside the paint than he is from the free throw line. It's not a great stat. He goes 0 for none for Lat. Stays at a 4-point game. Just when we thought perhaps they might have been getting a little bit of control. The Panthers here with the chance to... Could have been a travel there for Christian Brandon. Tryon just rips it out of the hands of Brandon. D. Smith picks up the ball here. And here we are with Lat again. Pick and roll action with Tryon. Kicks it out to Dow. They both go down. Let's see what the call is. He might have stepped out of court. Yeah, he stepped out of court.
Just slid
to
back.
Dow. Bit of a clumsy sort of contest down there. Looked like J. Smith might have lost his footing with the contact, and then Dow tripped over him. Clumsy stuff all round.
Both teams, I know it's hard to say this, but both teams struggling to score at the moment. Just one individual, you see the offense go through each and every time in Lat Mayen does. Here we go. Down low to Smith, and no struggles right there. Curtis Scott, great find for Daniel Smith. Good finish on that left-hand side.
And Tryon not really wanting to contest too hard there. He's got the 4 fouls. They need him to stay in the game. Dow kicks it across to Spear. He's got 8 left on the shot clock. Goes the step back. Didn't catch rim. Here's J. Smith. Nice pass to Qbank, and Qbank puts it in. He just got that around the back as Lat Mayen made a heads-up play.
Great work from Mayen. Tied ball game now. 66 apiece, 4 minutes remaining.
So here's Tryon, goes to the left, rebounded by Tryon, goes up and puts it in. Tryon just the length there over the top of Christian Brandon, who looked like he was in the box seat. But Tryon comes over the top for 2. 68-66, 3 minutes and 30 to play.
Tryon up to 11.7 rebounds right now. Bit quiet compared to what he did last week.
So Brandon from the free throw line, rebounded by Dow.
You feel every possession is important in this one, Berth.
Bearcats have held the lead for most of this fourth quarter. Mayen leans in, thought he might have been fouled. Scott goes all the way downhill. He knew Mayen and Tryon were trailing with the 4 fouls. Heads up play there by Curtis Scott. He's got himself up to 12 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
Look at this pressure. Picking Tryon up from out there. Great pressure from them and great finish inside for Dow. No one boxing out, and he just punishes you with an offensive rebound. That's the 15th O-board for West Adelaide.
Getting on the glass, getting busy are the Bearcats. So Qbank goes for 2 and he puts it in. Tom Qbank, we asked for him the lift and he's up to 18 points now. Is the captain, Tom Qbank, shooting 46% now from the field.
We're all tied away. 2.5 minutes remaining with Lat Mayen with the ball in hand. Stripped here, and here come the Panthers. They've got the numbers. Oh, jeez.
That was a rim rocker.
Oh, my.
So Qbank lines one up, and here comes Lat Mayen the other way. J. Smith couldn't quite block the shot. And it'll be a 2-point lead for the Bearcats as Chris Brandon might have let him off the hook there. Just fumbled the alley-oop.
Really is all swings and roundabouts. 2-point swinging the other way. 1:50 remaining.
So Qbank
my.
Goes reverse. He's trying hard, isn't he, the skipper? He's up to 20 points now. Having a big quarter is Tom Qbank. Here comes Lat the other way. Quick ball movement, long closeout by Jay Smith, but he managed to stay in front of Spear. Here's Spear again, extra pass to Dow for 3. Off the mark, and it's going to fall into the hands of Scott. And hands on it by Jay Smith. Curtis Scott comes up with it. We've got 1:20 to play. It's 72 apiece, and Scott just says, calm it, boys.
And
just
might need a
calm it.
timeout here. Tom Cubank can barely move. He is walking up there.
Barely catch the ball there, Coley, looking by.
10 to shoot.
Here he goes again.
5 to shoot now for South Adelaide.
Brandon puts it in as he went past May, and the Bearcats bench wanted to travel. Nothing happening there, and it's a 2-point lead. Mayan. Cubank looks like he's running on absolute fumes. He's been chasing Mayan all night while trying to lead the offense for the Panthers. Here he is down low, guarded by Cubank, double teamed by Scott. And it's going to be Jay Smith with the hand. Stock heaves it up. It's going to be an offensive foul. Let's have a look here.
I think they're calling
the 3-point shot to count, and it's going to be an offensive foul. I'm not sure that's even a rule.
Oh, I think the shot happened, and as he was coming down, he extended the arm and made the contact, so the 3 points will count. And then it was a foul afterwards on the way down.
So the foul was after the shot. So the 3-point shot counts, according to the officials.
We've just got a 1-point ball game advantage now, West Adelaide.
It's a 1-point lead. How about the shot by Sean Stock-Coldy?
Jeez, that is huge. Shot clock buzzing. He makes it with a contact, and we see Curtis Scott up the other end.
So here is Scott. He goes down low to D. Smith, and he gets the and one. D. Smith gets the and one, and he's going to go to the line for one more, and Tryon is fouled out of the game.
He's going to be sitting down on the pine there. What a play. Nice pick and roll basketball. D. Smith drawing that contact, and he stepped up when it's needed.
This game continues to provide a 1-point lead now for the Panthers, and the Sean Stock 3 down the other end was special. How about the youngster going up against the tall timber of Tryon? Gives his Panthers the lead.
Don't go anywhere.
Goes short. It just got up over the rim, Coldy.
Just enough there to make it. Timeout West Adelaide. And you know, under strength and undermanned, they still put on a show for everyone at home.
Yeah, look, Cubank's blowing. The Smith boys haven't probably played this much in an NBL1 Central game in their lives. So here we go. Hold on to your hats. 23 seconds left to play. Here is Lat. He stepped out of court. He stepped out. They're
waving it off. Out of bounds. It'll be going over. That's another turnover to Lat Mayan. That's his 10th.
He stepped out of court right in front of the Panther bench. They weren't going to miss that. Now, Coach Bell's got 2 timeouts left if he needs them.
One. I'd be advancing the ball right now. You don't want to turn it over in this back half right here.
They are in the bonus. Let's see how they go here. They get it into Cubank, and he's fouled.
They're going to say he knocked it
out of his hand.
That was Joel Spear knocking it out. I would call a timeout to advance it right here. But again, they're putting the faith in their players. You've got 2 timeouts available.
You see, he's gone the Amy timeout, Paul Bell. Smart decision there.
Jeez, how tense is this? Lat Mayan just running out of room there. Good pressure.
Just put the back heel on.
Those 14 seconds should go on the shot clock, and it does.
So
here we go.
14 left on the shot clock.
2-point advantage, South Adelaide.
So who are they going to get into the hands of here? Is it the youngster Smith in the post? They all go to ground. Chris Brandon, and it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be a jump ball. Curtis Scott leapt. He leapt, Caldy. Brandon got down. Dow went down. They all went down. You love to see it.
Wow.
I'm not sure whose ball it would have been. I think Scott took possession of it, so it must have been deflected by Lat Mayan. They're just having trouble closing this one out, aren't they, the Panthers?
It's just
They're in the bonus. They just got to gather the ball.
This is where they miss someone like a Sam Johns or a Starling from last year. Secure hands.
So here's Scott.
Oh, no.
Going to be a foul on Scott.
Be a foul. And that's going to be 2 shots. That's a loose ball foul right there.
Won't be 2 shots yet.
Sorry,
they're not in the bonus. So it'll be West Adelaide ball. Coach Nyberg. It's going to be a sideline ball. He's going to go to the Amy timeout.
Wow. Oh, gosh.
And like you said, Cooley,
he has managed to secure the basketball this last few seconds, last few possessions. He's been so good defensively, so good on the rebounds as well for such a little guy.
So here we go. Scott on the nose here. It's going to be Latmayan down low with Smith. Stouty missed it. He missed it. And it's knocked out of the hands of Jay Smith.
And that'll be all she wrote with 0.1 on the clock.
And it's going to be a timeout. There's only 0.1 left.
Just to make sure of it, they're calling it a little look. I think a few people were denard when they saw 5 seconds go up.
I think they're trying to put it back to 0.5, Cooley, is what they're trying to get it back to.
Oh, yes. This may take some time. This tends to happen quite a bit here.
So, obviously, they don't know how to use the clock properly because...
There we go.
There we go, 0.4.
0.4, South
They're going
Adelaide.
to go